Yeah, this is Naveed and you're on my Facebook channel, Naveed Sarias. Today the topic is related to President of United States, Donald Trump, imposing the 25% tariff duty on any imports of steel and aluminum. It used to be like 10%, and the major countries which are being affected are those countries on which there was no tariff, like Canada and Mexico. United States has a kind of agreement with Mexico and Canada. Based on that agreement, there is no import tariffs on these two countries, being the regional ally and neighbor. But now when Donald Trump has been talking about this, last month also, if you remember, he signed an executive order related to the 25% tariffs on, especially on Canada and Mexico. And then these countries, they negotiated with the US administration. There were many visits going and coming back into Washington. And then finally they decided that they are deferring this announcement for 1 month, and they want to see how these people who are the major exporters in the United States market, what are they doing in the benefit of United States of America. I mean, there was a problem of the drugs being, cross-border things and immigration and drugs and all these things, stuff, which the Canadian government did. Took responsibility, and they said that they're gonna make more, they're gonna do more in this kind of situation, and they requested the United States to consider this 25% tariff things. Now the 25% tariff thing is, as I told you, that these most of the exporters of who are exporting steel and aluminum to America, they are already exempted for this kind of tariff. I mean, it's not imposed on them. It is going to be a basic tariff on everything, but right now we are talking about steel and aluminum. So Canada is the topmost exporter of steel and aluminum, and the trade between United States and Canada is billions of dollars, $6 billion for steel. So you can imagine the amount of product which is coming in. Canada is like exporting to US like 16% of their whole imports. And then if you go in aluminum, it's like aluminum, if they are doing like 4 million tons per year, that means that the next 7 to 8 countries, which include like Brazil and UAE, these guys, and China export, these guys are not even collectively doing half of the exports which Canada is doing to US. So major business of Canada is exporting products to the United States, reaching out to United States consumer. And now when Donald Trump is threatening that, it's not threatening anymore, he already said yesterday that it's going to be imposed from like if I'm not wrong, 13th, 14th March. So they have already imposed the 25% tariff. So what does it mean to United States, and what does it mean to the countries? So basically, in the first leg of the discussion, we will talk about Canada and Mexico. Canada, as I told you, is the largest. The largest exports of Canada are going into United States of America. There is no hidden fact in this, whether it's steel or whether it's anything else. It is the United States of America that is importing most of the products or raw material which is made in Canada, and then it is being distributed into the factories, the finished product factories in the United States, and all they're buying the raw material from here. And some of the finished products is also going from Canada. So the major stakeholder in this debate is of course Canada, and then it is Mexico. But I think the major stakeholder in this steel war is Canada. But other countries are also trying to negotiate with Donald Trump, like the Europe. They have rated this tariff as ridiculous, and they are saying that this is something which will make them consider totally shutting down the business with United States of America. There is India was also, the portion of India is really, really small. You can say not more than 5% of US import, but they still are concerned. Australia, they have called Donald Trump today, and they were requesting him to reconsider these tariffs. And because most of these countries, they have been an industrial revolution in these countries. Leading country by far had been China, and you will be asking me that why I'm saying by far. So I'll just give you a small example that China makes almost, we are talking about steel and iron, if the global production of steel and iron is around 1.8 billion metric tons. So China is making 1 billion metric tons out of it. So China is more than half. It's around 55 to 58% of steel and iron is being made in China. This is a hard fact. Oh yeah, another thing is that China is also a big consumer, so they are also consuming what they are making. I mean, because they are really importing things from outside because they are using it from themselves, and the remaining they are exporting. Before there was not that much capacity of the usage they were having inside their country. Just like the example I gave you that day for crude oil, that Saudi Arabia is not the biggest producer of crude oil. It is America, United States of America. But because America utilizes that oil for themselves and still has a deficit, so they need to import 4-5 million barrel per day, Saudi Arab becomes the biggest exporter of oil. Because if Saudi Arab is making like 10-11 million barrel per day of crude oil, they are only using almost 3 million barrel, and most of that million crude oil is being used in making electricity. So the rest 7-8 million barrel per day they are exporting. So that makes them the biggest exporter of crude oil, but not the manufacturer. So China here is not a biggest exporter of steel and iron, but it is the manufacturer. It's like having a big chunk of manufacturing percentage with China. And then what is next? The next one, if I'm telling you 1,000 million ton per year, the next one is India, which is on 140 million tons per year. So see the gap, where is 1,000 and where is 140? I mean 900 million metric ton difference between the first and second one. And then it lowers more, and it around I don't know exactly, but US is around 80, Canada is around 80, Russia is around 70. So they also, the third, fourth, fifth are 50% of the second one. This is because India is having a lot of Tata is involved, Mittal is involved, and even in United States, even in Europe, they have their factories over there. So even the consumption of Europe is having a percentage of Indian consumption, unlike China. China is only manufacturing in China, and they are leading manufacturer in the world by far. So now what will happen to US? I mean, US requires steel. They have been leading it in 70s, 80s, even 60s. By far the production which China is making right now, United States was doing similar in aluminum and steel when in 1960s and 70s. So what's going to happen now? This is a big concern because US is not having much production. It is below million metric ton. So of course they need more imports. So now when you impose a duty on imports 25%, where it's gonna go? This is the point. I mean, this is a very logical point, which I will request you guys to try to explain me also, that if US is importing steel and iron at that capacity to manufacture their own goods, when US imposes 25% duty on the raw material, what prices are going to increase? Of course, the prices of the finished product being made in United States. So one way or another, people are saying that the increase, whether it is in steel, whether it is in aluminum, whether it is in some other thing, one way or another is going to be passed on to US consumer and maybe the US exports, because like let's say Tesla needs these raw material, steel, aluminum, whatever it is. So when it is importing from Canada and there is no duty on it, so they are getting it on a price, let's say, which is minus 25% of what price they are getting right now. But now when you impose 25% on that price, so that means the manufacturer, the finished product manufacturer in United States is going to get the same product 25% more. Now, what people are saying that maybe once this is implemented, there will be some relief for the factories for United States. They might get some relief from them, which can land between 50% of the 25, like 7-8% relief given to them for making more factories, making more jobs, and this will be subsidized by the United States. But we haven't heard anything related to this right now. It's all based on assumptions. But as I told you, that if this doesn't happen and the whole 25% is imposed on the manufacturers in United States, then it's going to be a big problem, and we're going to see other players also coming in. Right now, South Korea, Japan, these are two countries which are also in the top 5 list of US importers, from where US imports the products, steel and aluminum. So these guys are going to get more chance. If they don't get the tariff, of course, there will be a shift in sales from Canada, Mexico to Korea and Japan, or probably maybe India, or maybe Turkey. Turkey is also one of the contenders. A very low margin they have right now. Russia in this regard has given a very brave statement. I mean, I think this is the first statement of Vladimir Putin after Trump has taken charge. He was very quiet. So he said that if you fall on aluminium, Canada is exporting to US most of its capacity. You can say 70-80% of the whole aluminium Canada is making, and everything is going to US, around 4 million metric ton per year, which is by far as I told you, it is almost more than the next 7 countries together. So this Russians, they make aluminium, they have smelting plants. So they were saying that we can export this to US on a cheaper rates, and we can negotiate on the duty. So let's see if Russians are gonna do that. But when Russians are going to export this, it's not like Canada bringing on from the land border. I mean, there's gonna be a freight cost, and let's see how much the freight cost is, and after the freight cost, the duty, what is the landing cost for this steel aluminium to the US manufacturers, the end product manufacturers. So this is very tricky. Some people are saying that Trump wants to negotiate, but I don't understand what he wants to negotiate right now. If there is a deadlock in this, of course the major suffering is going to be to the countries who are exporting, whose business will be lost, and lost by a terrible ratio, because they are dependent on this business. I mean, Canada is being dependent on the US market. I mean, if Canadian product does not reach US market, where it's going to reach then? I mean, because if you want to sell this product, let's say to Europe, which they are trying right now, they are trying to negotiate deal, but there's going to be a freight cost on that. But for US, there is a very less land freight cost, which doesn't hurt your profits and all these things. So the first one to suffer will be the countries who are exporting this product to US, and if the tariffs is there and their products become so much expensive, then other options, so a lot of business can be lost to other suppliers. But on the same time, it is a very thin wire even for US, as most of their requirements is coming from importing the raw material. They are not manufacturing that thing. No matter they make 10 more plants, it's not going to reach the capacity in the next 30-40 years to reach the same scenario. It is not like opening up a deli or opening up a grocery store. It's like opening up a plant for steel and aluminium. It's not a simple thing to do. You need a lot of investments. So let's see how they're going to handle it. One way is to subsidize the manufacturers, do not pass on the load to them, at the same time screwing the exporters. So this can be done and taking some profit for the government. The other thing is that asking manufacturers, asking people, asking the same exporters to bring in the factories within United States. So you have the factory here, give more jobs to the people of United States, and doing all these things. This is another option which can be taken. So we have to see how things will go in the next few months. But for the time being, the situation is pretty tough if you are related to this 25% tariff, especially on iron and steel. Other points I had to discuss with you was that also we have heard that yesterday there was an announcement that, I don't know whether it's confirmed or not, but I think it's confirmed, that US is also considering removing Canada from the Five Eyes intelligence thing. I mean, there are Five Eyes: US, Canada, New Zealand, Australia and UK. They share intelligence among themselves, but here we are hearing that US wants to remove this Canada from that, which will not be good for the whole region. I think they must consider that. Another thing is that you have been hearing Donald Trump saying about talking about Elon Musk, the dodgy DOGE, the department. They are sending for the government employees productivity, and they are sending emails to them to find out that whether they are real or whether they are just bots or something, which they doubt. So they have been sending emails to FBI also, but I think there is a pause because the new FBI director, Kash Patel, he has some time, maybe he's negotiating with Elon Musk, or maybe these are jobs which need to be classified and they don't need to be taken in the same way other government departments are taken. There is a lot of confidential things involved in them, so he is going to negotiate on that. One more thing Trump did, that he has opened a golden visa thing. The golden visa means that it's like a green card, but a rebranding of green card with some more perks. So that means some people are saying lesser perks, some people are saying more perks. So he's saying that 5 million dollar. If you give $5 million, and you can take the golden card of United States, which will eventually lead you to the citizenship of United States of America. Is this a abnormal thing? Is this a new thing, or is this like something that has not happened? No. This has been happening in the world for long, and for the last 30 years I've been seeing this. For United Arab Emirates, UAE, they have been doing this. They have been asking the whole world, and this is how they built their country. They asked all investors to come in Dubai, bring in their money, and we have seen like pretty odd cases also. Recently was Ashraf Ghani and Abdullah Saleh of Afghanistan government, when the government fell, taking suitcases and being seen in Dubai. So I don't know whether it was true or not, but the video was like, it was a general public video. So they were saying that come here, make businesses, invest in real estate, and we'll give you like the residency for 99 years, 100 years. I think it's still there, it's still valid. Then Turkey copied that same model and in real estate, and they said that okay, when you invest a specific amount in real estate, we're going to give you the residency. So the golden visa actually is a kind of a residency which later converts into a citizenship, but it does not convert into a citizenship. I'm not sure about the recent laws of UAE and Saudi Arabia. I've heard Saudi Arabia has started this also. So I don't know whether still the UAE, the golden visas and all these things, I think the name is golden also there, the golden visa gets converted into the citizenship, or it's the residency only. So I'm not sure about that, but here in America, he's offering like if you invest 5 million, you are on a pathway to get the US citizenship. And this is coming after crackdown on the illegals, crackdown on the overstayers, crackdown on all other people, which was happening last month. So what I think that they flush out all the people out, and now they are saying that we need the rich people to come in. If you are rich, if you can pay for your residency, you are most welcome. Come in. Before they were using like a different kind of word, like invest in business and do this and do this. Trump, he's being more straight. He said that just give $5 million and take the golden card. That's it. I mean, don't tell me, you are investing or not, because there was a lot of loopholes in those investment. People used to invest and then pull out the money, and there's a lot of things, the businesses were not happening in a good manner. You have seen this in Canada also, in all the scams which were being done in the past. So he said that we don't need the business, we don't need that. Of course, when you are a citizen, you're going to do some business, you're going to earn some money, unless or until you are like rich or well off somewhere else which can fund your stay in US. No issues with us, just keep spending in our economy. But we are very clear with you, we are very straight with you. Spend $5 million, give it to us, and take the golden visa. I don't think any harm, like the examples which I have given you from UAE, Turkey and Saudi Arabia and other countries, it's pretty similar, but pretty straightforward one. You can say no hidden gimmicks, straight thing, give money and take the golden visa. So for America, I don't think that this is a wrong decision. But yes, for the tariff thing, I think that it's going to hurt Americans, and it's going to hurt more people, more exporters, and one way or another, there's going to be a shortfall which can damage the exports of United States, the finished product exports of United States. So I think there will be, you mind my word, there will be some middle way in this. Maybe this is a tactic of imposing pressure and then releasing it a little bit. But let's see, you don't know the way Donald Trump is handling the affairs in this presidency. I would say that, I don't know, he's doing too many things, and he's handling too many things and too many stuff, multitasking at a very big level. So let's see. So far, whatever he has done has a very clear objective. It's not covered in any sugar material. It's like straightforward, hardcore facts. So let's see how he does it in the coming months. So this was the updates coming from United States of America. As I told you that Australian PM got in touch with them. The Canadians are also negotiating, trying to solve this thing, and reminding US of the USCMA, the pact between Canada, Mexico and United States, that states that there is no duty from Canada and Mexico inside US. So let's see how it does. But as of today, the 25% are being imposed, and it will be effective from mid-March. Thank you very much. I hope everything is fine, and if you have any more questions, just keep sending me. Whenever I am free in the coming week, I will address it and we will discuss this on a live video. Thank you very much and take care.